It's no news that UK government actually now means business when it comes to cutting down on net migration. They've proposed 5 major immigration rules that is going to be implemented coming spring 2024. And all of these 5 immigration rules are pointing towards the direction of cutting down drastically on net migration because they've realized that there's been a sharp increase in the number of immigrants coming into the country.
The first of our 5 points will be to end the abuse of the health and care visa. We will stop overseas care workers from bringing family dependents, and we will require care firms in England to be regulated by the Care Quality Commission in order for them to sponsor visas. Approximately 120,000 dependents accompanied 100,000 care workers and senior care workers in the year ending September 2023. Only 25% of dependents are estimated to be in work, meaning a significant number are drawing on public services rather than helping to grow the economy. We recognise that foreign workers do great work in our NHS and health sector, but it is also important that migrants make a big enough financial contribution. Therefore, we will increase annual immigration health surcharge this year by 66%, from £624 to £1,035, to raise, on average, around £1.3 billion for the health services of this country every year. Second, we will stop immigration undercutting the salary of British workers. We will increase the skilled worker earnings threshold by a third to £38,700 from next spring, in line with the median full-term wage for those kinds of jobs. Those coming on health and social care visa routes will be exempt, so we can continue to bring in the healthcare workers on which our care sector and NHS rely. Thirdly, we will scrap cut-price shortage labour from overseas by ending the 20% going rate salary discount for shortage occupations and reforming the shortage occupation list. I have asked the Migration Advisory Committee to review the occupations on this list because of our new higher skilled worker salary threshold, and we will create a new immigration salary list with a reduced number of occupations. People only bring dependents who they can support financially. By raising the minimum income for family visas to the same threshold as the minimum salary threshold for skills workers, which is £38,700. The minimum income requirement of £18,600 has not been increased since 2012. Madam Deputy Speaker, this package of measures will take place from next spring. Finally, having already banned overseas master's students from bringing family members to the UK, I have asked the Migration Advisory Committee to review the graduate route to prevent abuse, to protect the integrity and quality of the UK's outstanding higher education sector. It needs to work in the best interests of the UK, supporting the pathway into high-quality jobs for the global talent pool, but reducing opportunities for abuse.
Hello guys, I hope you're all doing well and safe. So on this channel, we basically share information that enables you to successfully migrate to the UK. We also share updates on UK immigration rules, any changes or any updates. We do share it on this platform. So since the beginning of this year, you all know what's been going on in the UK. Every single day there is something new. There is always a new immigration rule, and I always try to bring you the latest information regarding new immigration rules so that if you are yet to migrate to the UK, at least it will be a source of guide to you. So what is going on right now is, since the UK introduced the health and care visa, it allowed a lot of healthcare assistants, domiciliary care workers, home care workers to also migrate successfully to the UK. A lot of people have successfully migrated to the UK with their family. They are living and working in the UK. People have taken advantage of this system, and now there is news all over the place. The UK government thinks this health and care visa that was introduced has been abused. This has also contributed to a rise in the number of immigrants coming into the UK. Honestly, UK is a good country to live in. People started coming to UK long ago. But they have realized that recently the numbers have really gone up. They've noticed a sharp rise in the number of non-EU migrants coming into the UK. It was reported that by the end of September 2023, 101,000 health and care visas were issued to care workers and senior care workers, with an estimated 120,000 visas granted to associated dependents, the majority of whom we estimate don't work but still make use of public services. So they think even most of the senior care workers who have successfully migrated to the UK, their dependents are not working and dependent on public services. So all that they are trying to say, the number of immigrants that have come to the UK is putting so much pressure on their system. So they think they need to do something. Apart from the fact that they think the health and care visa has been abused, they've also noticed that students who are coming here to do like 1 year or 2 year programs bring in as many as 4, 5, 6 dependents, which they think is putting so much pressure on their social system, their education, and also their health system. So they were really concerned about the fact that one person coming to study like a 1 year master's program could bring that many dependents. So it raised eyebrows, and because of that, from 1st January 2024, now they are saying if you are coming to study like a master's program or a short course, you cannot bring your dependents. Meanwhile, it wasn't like that initially. So the abuse of the system has caused them to bring up all of these immigration rules. Just yesterday, the Home Secretary made an announcement in the Parliament about 5 major changes that they are going to implement in spring 2024. So I'm going to go through all of these 5 major changes or 5 immigration rules that is going to be implemented. So that at least if you're already here in the UK or if you are yet to migrate to the UK, you see where you fall and how any of these rules are going to affect, so that you can take the necessary step you think you need to take as soon as possible. The first immigration rule they announced was that the minimum salary for foreign skilled workers will be raised from 26,200 to 38,700, though the health and care sector will be exempt. So as it stands now, for an employer to bring in a skilled worker from overseas, at least the employer should offer you a salary of £26,200 per annum. But now they're going to raise that to 38,700. That means if I'm an employer here in the UK and I want to offer somebody overseas a job, so if I cannot pay them 38,700, I cannot bring the person to the UK. And ask yourself how many people or how many professions in the UK will pay a start-off salary of 38,000. So that's something to consider. So there is an exemption to this rule. They said care workers are exempted. So to the best of my knowledge, if you are a care worker, you are still allowed to come, because they said care workers are exempted. Because honestly, how many nurses will even get a start-off salary of 38? You can't even think of 30,000 as a registered nurse, unless maybe you are being employed by a hospital, a private hospital, or a private entity in London that's going to pay you that much. If you're coming to the UK as a band 5, maybe in an area outside London, it normally starts off from around 26, 27,000 thereabouts. So if health care workers were not exempted, then indirectly they would have been saying nurses are not even allowed to come in. So if nurses would not even get a start-off salary of even 30, how much more healthcare assistants? So in a way, it's good that they've brought this exemption that care workers are exempted. So for this particular point, I would say that care workers are exempted. Let's go on to the second immigration rule. The minimum income requirement for a spouse or family visa will be raised from 18,600 to 38,700. So that means if you were in UK and you wanted to bring your family, the minimum salary that you, the person in UK, should have was £18,600. So that is what they're going to increase from 18,600 up to 38,700. That's a massive increase. So that means if you want to sponsor your spouse on a spousal visa to bring them to the UK, you should be somebody earning 38,700 and above. So that's another point to note. So let's move on to the third point, which is the shortage occupation list. What they are proposing is that they are going to review the professions on the shortage occupation list. The shortage occupation list will be reformed, and the current 20% going rate salary discount for shortage occupations will be abolished. If they are going to review the shortage occupation list, we don't know if they are going to take out some professions or to add some. We don't know how it's going to be reviewed because they are proposing for it to start in spring 2024. So it's possible that they are going to reduce the number of professions on the shortage occupation list so that in the long run it will reduce the number of people who will be able to migrate to the UK. The fourth one is about students bringing dependents into the UK. So it said the rules on students bringing family members to the UK will be tightened. Plus, the Immigration Advisory Committee will be commissioned to carry out a full review of the graduate visa routes. So there is already a plan in place for them to stop students who are coming into the UK from bringing their dependents starting January 2024. So they have included it in this 5-point plan, meaning it is likely that they're going to implement that. And the last one, which most people are talking about or concerned about, is the fact that care workers will not be able to bring in their dependents. So it reads, care workers will not be allowed to bring any dependents to the UK, and the care firms will be required to be registered with the Care Quality Commission to sponsor visas. So they've just said care workers. Care workers will not be allowed to bring any dependents. So if they say any dependents, do they mean your spouse, your children? Because if they had said maybe you'll not be able to bring children, you'll not be able to bring your spouse, but how is that even possible? If someone is coming to do like a short course, like 6 months, 1 year, fine. If you do not want them to bring their dependents, fine. But if somebody is coming to work as a care worker, obviously they are coming to live and work legally, stay here to renew their visa, even to the point of getting indefinite leave to remain, to get citizenship in the long run. So if the person is married, should they leave their family back home forever and not bring in their spouse? If they have children, should they just leave them back home forever and then just come and live and work in the UK forever? That is the point that most people are concerned about, that dependent part, because they did not make it specific. They said care workers will not be able to bring any dependents. So the care workers, obviously a nurse is a care worker, a healthcare assistant, domiciliary care worker. The care worker is like very, very broad. They did not make it so specific. At that very point, we'll wait until spring 2024 to get further explanation because most people are particularly concerned about that point. So we'll see how it goes in spring 2024. But so far, this is what's on ground. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Which of these 5 points do you think you agree with or you do not agree with? So in your opinion, let me know what you guys think is the cause of all of these immigration rules. Or do you think it was due to the introduction of the health and care visa? Or do you think it's the students bringing a lot of dependents that has caused all of this? Just let me know what you think. Put it in the comment section. Let's all discuss, and who knows, our voices might be heard and they may relax the rules a little bit. So my final words about this whole issue is, considering all of these 5 points, if you think you have the desire to migrate to the UK, I think the time is now. Do not wait at all. Do not hang on at all. If you have that desire to still migrate to the UK, you need to put every measure in place to migrate to the UK as soon as possible before they even make the immigration rules even tighter. Or if you're a care worker, you're already here in the UK and you wish to bring your family, you need to bring them as soon as possible, because if they're going to implement this in spring 2024 and they make it a rule that care workers cannot bring their dependents, then it means you are stuck here with your family back home. So if you really do wish to bring your family, if you've not yet brought your family, this is the time for you to act before the rule or the immigration rules go against you. If anything comes up, I will definitely come and update you. So just stick around, subscribe to the channel, share this video with as many people as possible, because I believe most people have still not heard this and they do have the desire to migrate to the UK. So obviously they should know. Let me know what you think about all of this immigration rules in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one. If there's any updates again regarding these 5-point immigration rules, I'm definitely going to bring it out to you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.